Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers on down at Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Rai Bayamian, here to share another lesson. And the title of this lesson is Another Reason to Hate Esau, Disfunction and Injustice. Now, the inspiration for this lesson came, when I was watching the old Stargate SG-1, season 1, near the middle of the season. I like those kind of science fiction shows and stuff. You know what I mean? Because, when I was in high school and stuff, I didn't get a chance to see it because, my parents didn't allow us to watch television that late. So now that it's free on the internet, I have a chance to watch it. So pretty much after work, after, relaxing and stuff, wanted to watch a movie. And, it just goes to show that, us, believers and stuff, we really have no rest in this place. After a hard day's work, I just wanted to chill. And, Esau Dysfunction is in the show, and I got vexed, and I'll show you where I was vexed in the show. So in one of the episodes, they had they used the Stargate device, and they went into this ancient society where the women were dressed modest, and the men had rule over the woman, not like in the times that we are today. And the women, in order, they served their husbands. They had the dowry system and all of that. So in the show, he had this chief. He promised his daughter to like a farmer or whatever. He's like a farmer slash hunter. He was a man of the field. And the farmer hunter, he paid the dowry and whatnot. And another man, wanted her. He wanted to take her away. And she was in love with that dude, even though she was promised to someone else. The agreement between the father and the dude. So he paid the dowry, and he was just waiting. The father was just waiting for the guy to come and claim, pretty much pick his daughter up. So in the show, you had the Stargate team, they went there and they saw the women were in order, they feared their men and all of that, and they did not like that. They wanted the women to be like to be loose and stuff, like the women in Babylon and stuff today. And they wanted the woman, the chief's daughter that was promised another man, they wanted to remove that agreement so that she could be with the dude that she quote unquote love. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that part was, the first vexation. That was one of the episodes that I saw. And when I saw that, it vexed me. And I thought about the scripture. I thought about Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5, where it says, yea, also because he transgressed, by wine, his philosophies, his way of life, he is proud. And even in the show, they were proud. They were on a planet that were not theirs, right? And they immediately wanted to change the customs and laws of the land and the villages and the people. Right, so he is proud, neither keep it at home. Now, if you watch your Stargate show, you're gonna see that they're gonna go from planet to planet, a lot of times dictating the pace and the ways of the people that are quote unquote less advanced, or less technology. So you neither keep it at home, can't mind his own business, man. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather it unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people. And even in today's time, you can see that everybody, all nations are in Babylon today on a high level doing businesses, you know what I mean? Investors, people running different companies from, even though they are from another country, and at the low level, because of the poverty that Babylon caused in these so-called to the world countries, you have a lot of what they call immigrants coming to America, you know, to work, to provide for themselves, only later on to realize that what they had in their home countries was, you know, better than the illusion of Babylon. You understand? And higher up, the next portion of scripture I was taking when I was watching the show is you know, where it says, "Behold, his soul is lifted up in him." You know, he is proud. You know what I'm saying? His soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. When you go into that word upright, all right, it says to be right, to be straight, to be level, be upright, be just, be lawful, be smooth, to make right, to lead direct, lead straight, to esteem right? So he wasn't right, you know what I'm saying? Wayward. Let's continue on. It says, but the just shall live by faith, right? And that is the elect, you know what I mean? They rely upon the Lord, you know? The next part I want to share real quick is in the book of Exodus, chapter 22, where it shows, you know, the dowry. You know what I mean? The dude, he paid the dowry for the chief's daughter, but there's another dude that wanted her, that quote unquote loved her and did not want her to honor or respect what the father and the other dude, the agreement that the father and the other dude had. You understand? And this way here is order, because remember in the book of Sirach, it said, you know, to give, you know, the daughter, if you have a daughter, to give her to a man of understanding, and I'll get that in a minute. And the dude that was promised, that the daughter was promised to, he was an experienced man, he was an older man, he was responsible, you know what I'm saying? He was hardworking. But the dude that the daughter was quote unquote in love with, you know, he was around age, he was really young, you know what I'm saying? And inexperienced. So there's the dowry right here. This is Exodus 22 and verse 16. It says, and if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her, right, to be his wife. That's the customary. Verse 17, it says, if the father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay according to the dowry of virgins. You know what I'm saying? So the chief daughter, she was a virgin, you know what I mean? The dude, he paid the you know, the dowry and stuff for her, and all he had to do was come pick her up. Now I'm gonna read the NLT version for a little bit more context. It says, if a man seduces a virgin who is not engaged to anyone and has sex with her, he must pay the customary bride price and marry her. But if the father refuses to let him marry her, the man must pay him an equal amount to the bride price of the virgin. So the dude, he had an agreement with the father, and he paid you know what I mean, the dowry and stuff on it. And those were the old ways that worked for our people. You understand? Look at society today. These women and them say they want to fall in love with a dude, but the marriage don't last long. You know, the relationships don't last long, and the marriage don't last long. They bounce around, you know what I mean, from man to man, from man to man, you know what I'm saying? But the system that our ancestors had, even though you still had sin, you know what I mean, this system was right. It worked. You know what I'm saying? And there were consequences. Um, and stuff. There were consequences for committing, adultery, where it put fear in people, from doing it. So I'm gonna jump across in the book of Sirach right quick. I'm gonna read 7:24. It says, "Has thou daughters? Have care of her body, right? And shew not thyself cheerful toward them," right? So to be austere, to be stern, with them. And part of taking care of her body is making sure that she ain't being ran through. You know what I'm saying? That she actually have something good to present to her husband when she gets married, which is sex. Sex is marriage, you know what I'm saying? Verse 25, it says, "Marry thy daughter, so thou shalt have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding." And the man that the chief promised the daughter to was a man of understanding. But the Stargate team, they wanted to quote unquote free the woman from that obligation. So even while watching a show, it just goes to show that even when relaxing, we are still vexed. It's like no break, man. We are still vexed in this society. And another episode what that got me vexed too was there was a dude on the team. He killed a young man's father, and when he killed a young man's father, there were a whole bunch of witnesses and stuff that saw the killing happen, right? So what happened is when the Stargate team went to another planet, the people recognized one of the dudes that was on the Stargate team that killed the young man's father. So they had their own trial system and all of that, which is similar to what we had. There were witnesses, gathered to accuse the murderer, and they had a system where they were judged the same day. You know what I'm saying? Before the sun came down. And the punishment for death in that episode was the punishment for murder, Salakia, in that episode was death. Which in our culture, by stoning, and stuff. And like I said again, the Stargate SG1 team, they didn't want the member of their team to undergo the judgment. So Esau, he antagonized the people where they allowed him to bring his corrupt court system, to ask the defendant a whole bunch of questions to try and make him look good, put on a show, to lessen his judgment. And the witness, the guy that was murdered, his son, and the other witnesses and stuff, they wanted judgment and stuff, but then later on down the line and stuff, the Stargate team was able to prove that the dude that was on trial, he had good merits, so on and so forth, but that's not the case. You commit murder and you're supposed to go down. You're supposed to be judged right then and there. But Esau system, he prolonged the trial and all of that, and you go to jail. He sentenced you for 30 years when it should be done sundown that very day. So the last portion of scripture I want to share is in the book of Numbers, chapter 35. I'm going to read from verse 30 on down to probably verse 34. So all this, among many other things, is another reason to hate Esau. That even in our relaxations after working hard, a hard day's work, you come to relax, you watch a show, and you are vexed by these things. But thankfully I was able to turn it into a lesson. Cause I thought about it, I was like, man, I had to try and do a lesson more willing about this. So this is Numbers chapter 35 and 30. It says, whoso killeth a person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of the witnesses. So in the show, the son and the other people were witnesses to the murder. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Moreover, ye shall take no satisfaction for the life of the murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. Right? So even in that, there's order and a way to behave. You know what I'm saying? Verse 33, it says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Right? So that is justice, man, and even the land is happy with that. Right? That is pleasing to you, Lord, and the land is no longer defiled. Right? So, but by the murderer being put down, being judged, the land is no longer defiled. You know what I mean? So that goes to show too that when the Most High come, He's gonna really put a number down in this place. He's gonna burn this place to a crisp, because this place is defiled on many levels, man. Just think about it. Think about all the crimes that happen to our people. Starting with the Native American Indians here, overseas, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, the Northern Kingdom that came over here, and that Esau murdered their men, women, and children, and every one of them got off. They lived, they would not judge right then and there, the same day. Last verse 34, it says, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I the Lord dwell among the children of Israel. So now he even professed that when he brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, there were laws that he gave to Moses that they defile not the land. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that Esau does. So since a lot of the crimes were committed right here in Babylon, but this place is defiled on a major level and must be destroyed. All right, so again, this is what was the title again? Another reason to hate Esau - dysfunction, right, that I mentioned with the case with the dowry that was paid for the chief's daughter, and the Stargate team wanted to dishonor that, and injustice for wanting to let the murderer walk free, or to lessen his sentence. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect and to what they have Bashir Shai for turning it into a moment of relaxation, from a moment of relaxation into a lesson per the episodes. Until the next time, Shalom.